Hello. Everyone feeling a little groovy? Ready to watch some magical cards? I know I sure am. We got Scott Metcalf on the left, and we got Mike DeCoste on the right. We got Mac DeMarco in the background. Who doesn't love Mac DeMarco? Mike DeCoste. He's playing a deck full of 4-ofs. He's playing an hollow one Vengevine deck. Definitely the coolest deck I've seen all day. Instead of playing Stomping Grounds and Overgrown Tombs like most people do to cast their Vengevines, what he's doing, he's playing white cards. He's playing Lingering Souls. That is his third color choice. He said to me, I have so many ways. I have 11 ways to discard my Vengevines and hollow ones. So I don't need to have green swords. I just discard them. Scott Metcalf, on the other hand, playing what he always plays, green, white, death and taxes, green, white, Hatebears, whatever you want to call it. So Street Wraith cycles for Mike. Maybe he's going for a hollow one turn. Maybe he's just trying to dig for 2 creatures to play. An Insolent Neonate and a Death Shadow. An Insolent Neonate and a hollow one. We'll see. 2 mana. Thought sees you. So Scott has Path to Exile, Blade Splicer, Thalia, and Witness. Hold on just a sec, guys. Gotta go fix this lighting. I don't know how you're gonna manage without my beautiful commentary, but somehow I think you will. Let me know in the comments how you managed. There we go. You wonder how it takes me 2 rounds to get this all done, but it does. It does. So thanks for bearing with me. Now we can see that Dahlia on that Aether Vial. That's beautiful. So what's going on here? Looks like Thoughtseize took the Witness because, well, of course it did. That's how that works. Witness is, in this kind of grindy matchup, one of the best cards. Scott without a 3rd land. His hand is unlocked next turn with this Aether Vial, Blade Splicer allowed to come into play. He, of course, has Path to Exile up, so Mike knows this. He has to play a little cagier, play a little bit for the long game, maybe Collective Brutality that path before he deploys a Gurmag Angler. Excuse me. That would be the nuts. Thoughtseize that path. So, Death Shadow. Gurmag Angler. Brings back Vengevine. Attacks for 4. Vengevine will be blanked by Blade Splicer, but not this turn. So you have to think this Path to Exile will target either Death Shadow or Gurmag Angler. I will get an update on the life totals for y'all in just a second. There's the path. There's the swamp. And there are the life totals. 14-7. There we go. So Death's Shadow was a 6/6 very briefly. Scott draws a land, puts a Splicer into play, but cannot attack. These creatures are huge. The only thing going to be keeping him safe is First Strike. Three mana from Milford Mike. Let's get some Wolfpeck in here. How y'all feeling about some Wolfpeck? Cathartic Reunion fixes Mike's hand. Neonate comes into play, discarding Vengevine. This is for sure a hollow one. For sure bringing back Vengevine. Look at this deck in action. Oh my god, this is beautiful. This is like turn 4? Let's listen to some crooning while we watch some combat. So, look at this board stall. Scott, I gotta give Scott the upper hand. I mean, look, he has a flyer. No one else got a flyer. And a Noble Hierarch would turn this into a 2-turn clock. Let's see if Scott's got it. Boom, Noble. 4. Mike has 1 turn. He has 1 turn. He has to draw a Collective Brutality or a Lingering Souls. That's literally the only... These are the only things he can draw. He has 7 outs. Of course, he has cards that give him redraws. Street Wraiths, Faceless Lootings, Cathartic Reunions, Insolent Neonates. And here comes a scoop. Fliers. What beats a ground stall? Fliers. Now, moving ahead to a little sideboard in action here. Let's see what we got. For Mike, down a game. He's got Grim Lavamancer. A powerhouse here. He has another Collective Brutality. If he wants it, he probably doesn't. I'd board in an Ancient Grudge or 2 where I am. Doesn't seem good on its surface. But look at those Golem tokens. Look at that Aether Vial. I'd board in not all 3. Certainly 1, maybe 2. Lily of the Last Hope, spectacular. Big Game Hunter, questionable. Big Game Hunter is really good when it's taking out like a mid-combat resto. An Exalted Flicker Wisp, that's really good. what he can take out. And the answer to that really depends on what he thinks Scott's bringing in. If he thinks that Scott has Graveyard Hate, well, that's pretty easy. Bring out the Vengevines he can't cast. If you think Scott doesn't, well, then it gets a little trickier. And as strange as it seems, I might want to take out Death Shadow in this matchup. As we saw, he brought himself to 7. He just got attacked down by Flicker Wisp 2 times. How absurd. Death Shadow gets chump blocked ad infinitum. It gets pathed. Yeah, Pat's going to hit something, but it might just be the worst creature. And I can't say I've ever recommended taking out Death Shadow, but in this case, it might be right. Scott, on the other hand, he has some Blessed Alliances, a Valorous Stance, a Dismember, a Scavenging Ooze, a Linvala, a Smattering, just a little removal, and some slight creature upgrades. Both players not gaining a heck of a lot. Nothing changes fundamentally about the matchup. Mike leading with the Neonate. Say and go. These players are 3-0, by the way. I failed to mention. They're fighting for that 4-0 and the right to double draw into the top 8. Because this tournament today, only 6 rounds. It's a pretty sweet one. Really good value today. Here at TJ Collectibles. Another Street Wraith cycles. Wow, Mike's trying to dig to hollow ones. I mean, hell, he could just add 16 power to the board if he had all his hollow ones right now for free. With a little help of a Neonate. So easy to discard 3 cards in this deck in one turn. Street Wraith showing why it's so fundamentally broken. For the low cost of 2 life, you get to just enable so many things. From Tasigur to Hollow One. Now here comes the looting. Mike digging for some Vengevines. Some Hollow Ones. Some Lingering Souls. All these cards so good in the graveyard for him. Death Shadow. How interesting. So let's add up here. 3 damage each from his fetch lands. That's 14. 2 Street Wraiths. He's at 10. That Death Shadow is a 3/3. Scott just says go. Strongly representing an instant here. You can't imagine he would have kept his hand if he had no turn 2 play, turn 1 or turn 2 play. He's representing 2 Blessed Alliance, 4 Path to Exile. And we will find out which one it is right about meow. Two mana. Alliance here. Sack a creature. Or could he be gaining Mike 4 life? Looks like he's gaining Mike 4 life. The Insolent Neonate protecting Mike from this sacrifice effect. Souls. So, Mike has quite the board here. Bunch of 1-power creatures. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at this. Scoos. Scoos eat your souls. Blank your Death Shadow. Thoughtseize. Drops Mike 2 life. Makes Death Shadow a 3/3. And wow, so good. Both these cards so good right now. Takes the resto, the bigger flyer, the one that does not lose in combat to the Souls token. I like Mike's decision. Also important to note, Gavany Township hiding over there in the lands of Scott Metcalf. He has a good 2-turn sequence here. Flicker a token, eat something with Scoos. Turn after that, Gavany Township at the ready. Now, if you're wondering what these guys are playing for, the winner gets an invitation to the Titanium Finals next January. That is a $5,000 cash money tournament. That tournament is only 24 people. $5,000 prize pool, 24 people. So Scott takes the damage. Trying to figure out what his line is here. He needs to get rid of this Death Shadow. It's pretty huge. Now, the life total board says 12, but he's really at lower, as we see Mike fixing it here. He's at A. Eternal Witness gets resto back. What a good chump blocker. Scavenging Ooze threatening to eat a Street Wraith. Eternal Witness threatening to chump block a Death Shadow. What does Mike have? Seems like a really tough matchup for him. He's trying to force through these ground pounders, through all this advantage that Scott has. It's like Mike's creatures are hyper efficient, undercosted, but they have no abilities. Scott's creatures cost a little more mana, but all do something great. Nevertheless, Mike gets in. Souls tokens for sure going unblocked. Neonate for sure going unblocked. He takes 3. At the end of the turn, though, he will gain 1. Street Wraith cycles. Mike down to 6. Now, if you don't follow us on Facebook and you're interested in this series, please do. We're TJ Titanium Series. We post updates on our upcoming tournaments and how our players are doing. Last round, I posted a picture of Mike DeCoste round 1, where on turn 1 he deployed 2 hollow ones. So check that out. Content updates, links to articles written by stream members. If you're interested in the Northeast metagame, check it out, because really, where else are you going to find all this tournament data? We run a $1,000 tournament every month, $5,000 tournaments every few months. It can be hard to know what the metagame looks like, but we try to help you figure it out. Flicker Wisp does come down. Takes out a Souls token. I think Scott now has 2 Gavinies. That'll be 1 Gaviny. Keeping it in his hand, protecting it from any potential Ghost Quarters. Look at this, though. Scavenging Ooze threatening to be a 5/5. Threatening to take down Hollow One in combat. Hollow One pretty ugly at the moment. Has no combat stats, has no special abilities, just a vanilla 4/4. Whoa. Whoa, look at this. This is called Collective Brutality. Discard the Street Wraith I don't want anymore. Kill your 3/1 and drain you for 2. Yes, it shrinks Death Shadow, but Mike don't care. Mike up to 8. Death Shadow's a 5/5. Scavenging Ooze can grow to 5/5 and trade, but that sure does seem like a waste of a Scavenging Ooze. Isn't Mac DeMarco awesome? If you don't know him, check him out. He makes watching a creature slog all the more enjoyable. Scott gains 2, but takes 6, so net of -4 life. Still facing down 6 power. All Mike can do is attack, and he wins. Wow. So these boys go into game 3. Now, Mike, like I said before, colloquially named Milford Mike. No surprise where he's from. TJ Collectibles is in Milford. Mike is in Milford. Mike comes to TJ's events. Very loyal. Good player, too. You know, in my heyday, he was playing, but I think that was on like one of his breaks. You know how we all take breaks from Magic. We all take hiatuses. Hiatusi. Hiatusin? Like Moxon? I don't know. Got me Googling. But we all take breaks. Mike was taking a break when I was coming up, when I was at my peak performance in the local area. So we never really got to play with him too much. Scott, on the other hand, I played with a bunch. Western Mass player like myself. always been one to stick to his guns. I was talking to him before this match, talking about how he's been playing this green-white deck for 3 years. How he hated Modern until he found his deck. Capital H, capital D. And that's no coincidence because everyone has their deck in Modern. That's just how it is. That's Modern. And if you don't have a deck like that, you just haven't found it yet. Dahlia. That's just a Mancer target. Lavamancer not seeing so much play in Modern as it is in Legacy, but it's still a super powerful card. I mean, look at this. Grim Lavamancer versus the green-white creature deck. All right, another fetch. Both of these men sporting excellent beards, I must say. I must compliment them on it. Mine is not nearly so full as either of these gentlemen's, and I'm quite jealous. Aha. The Shadow. That Shadow not huge right now. Really is not. 1-1. As small as a Death Shadow can be and still be alive. Now Mike also has the very cute play available to him of Lavamancer himself to grow Death Shadow to a 3-3. Not a way we see very often to reduce your life total. But hey, nothing can be weirder than Tarfire myself. Wow. And Will might go for it. Will might go for the block. Lavamancer myself. Oh my god, he is. Look at this. Oh, he has it the easy way. He has the Street Wraith. Just has the nuts. Mike, down to 10. And this appears to be all over but the crying. I mean, active Lavamancer, active Death Shadow versus no board. Scott's going to need to string together a lot of removal spells here. Something like a kicked Blessed Alliance would be pretty sweet. Make Mike gain 4 and sack a creature. But he doesn't have it yet. He just has more X1s to feed the Grim. No Wrath of Gods for Scott. No Day of Judgments. No type of Sweeper, which I bet he wishes he had here. Instead, he's filled his sideboard with cards like Burned Forge Tender and point removal, Blessed Alliance, and Valorous Stance. It looks like the Vengevine Hollow One deck is pulling ahead here. The pressure he was able to put on Scott last game. Scott unable to deploy all of his value creatures. And the pressure he's putting on this game just because of the Grim Lavamancer, just because of this one red drop. People seem to forget exists in Modern. See Stream Team member Adam Snook there in the background on the left. Nico Christensen. They're watching. They're probably rooting for Milford Mike. They've been friends since way back. They like to make fun of him, but they want him to win. And that's the scoop face from Scott Metcalf. And yeah, he can flicker a token. Handshake. Michael DeCoste moves on to 4-0. Congratulations, Mike. He should be safe to double draw in, provided that he doesn't get paired down. He's reached that magical win number. That's 2 less than the number of rounds. Feels good when you get there. It really does. Scott, not out. Definitely not out. He's only 3-1. He can win next round and maybe be able to draw in. And yeah, so let's look at the sideboarding here. Mike did board in all 3 Ancient Grudges. Can't say I like it. What if he drew one that game? Scott had no artifacts. I like 1 or 2 Ancient Grudge, depending on how many cards you want to take out. 3 is just too many. Makes me wish he got punished and drew like 3 Ancient Grudges. Oh, yeah. So he was afraid of the graveyard hate. He said, okay, I have to not lose to Rest in Peace. That's pretty reasonable. You and I know Scott doesn't have it. But if you're Mike, you can't take that risk. Or so he thinks. That's how he sideboarded. Boarding in the graveyard card Grim Lavamancer. Boarding out the graveyard card Vengevine. Interesting. Interesting. Have to ask him about that in a minute. Now we're 4 of 6 rounds in here in Milford, Massachusetts. TJ Collectibles, home of the Titanium series. If you would like to know more, join our weekly newsletter. I'm always going to recommend that. Has blurbs by me, videos by myself and Tom at different stores that we partner with. Modern metagame reads, stuff like this. If you want to get on that, text Titanium, the word Titanium, to 22828. 22828. Do that, get on our mailing list. You can even save some money or get entered into raffles that only mailing list members can get into. Please check that out. Also, let this playlist keep on rolling, because we're going to go into round 5. We're going to feature some players that are 3-1, fighting for that spot in top 8. Thank you for watching.